Mate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we discussed Ben Stiller as a guest, what a great guest he is, how he always comes in, he's an A-lister, loves the show, and he's pretty open about his life, and he tells us everything that's going on. We dig him. Check it out.
We're going to talk about Ben Stiller, longtime friend of the show, Ben Stiller.
Yeah, he comes in to promote all his movies, and I think, listen, he's a big star. He likes us. You know, what more do you need?
Now, he and Howard, seemed that their relationship was going someplace, and then I guess it dropped off.
I thought Ben said something that was really telling and not a joke today. He said, yeah, you sort of dropped the ball. And Howard goes, really? I thought you dropped the ball. And Ben said, well, when I didn't get the wedding invite, I figured I was on the outs. And I didn't think that was a joke.
I didn't think that was a joke either. Did you, Benji?
No, but I also didn't think I didn't think about it too much.
You don't have a thought on it, do you?
No. I did think it was a joke.
How'd you think Ben looked today?
Skinny,
and his hair.
He had the funky hair.
Yeah. Do you think a couple people said he seemed depressed?
Oh, yeah, I got it. No, go ahead.
Do you agree?
I don't know. That's sort of his demeanor. He's sort of like the gets beat up, but he's a good guy. I mean, he's almost like the character in his movies, but he seemed a little downtrodden today.
Well, considering all his success, and he's been tremendously successful in movies, do you think he's a humble guy? I mean, is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, I mean, you can be humble, but when they said that, when Ben said he doesn't know how many movies he's been in that have cracked 100 million, I was not buying that. I mean, you can be humble and still know that, because when you want to go in to negotiate a contract, I'm pretty sure you got to know what that is.
And today, I know he was promoting Night in the Museum, the next movie, but a lot of talk was about Tropic Thunder and the balls it really takes to make a movie like that.
I think he's really proud of that movie, as well he should be, because he's made some funny movies, but there's some people who go, oh, he makes light comedy, and that was a ballsy movie. And we were saying here today, imagine if you tried to make that movie and Sal was playing the black character instead of Robert Downey Jr. I always said about that movie, the reason why I loved it so much is because that could have gone horribly wrong, and it didn't. It was really well done and well written.
And he revealed that he'd been working on that for 20 years. That was a long-time project that he really wanted to do, and it came out great. And then, of course, Downey gets nominated for the Academy Award, playing a guy who's trying to get nominated for an Academy Award.
I thought the second I saw that movie, I said he should be nominated, because, again, that could have gone horribly wrong in the hands of another actor.
And I thought Jimmy did a great job just hanging during that whole interview, and then piped in, in the appropriate places.
Now, where was that?
Well, I'll get to that. First, we got to get to Ben's marriage, which it seems like he's got a great marriage, 2 kids, everything's great. But he was very honest. He said, all marriages have ups and downs. And of course, immediately it's like, what do you mean ups and downs? And then Howard brought up the Neil Patrick Harris thing, which, if you missed it, clip number 2, Ted. Here's, this explains it.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I was be it down. He'll be one of the
said
downs.
He never had sex with a woman. He had sex with your wife.
Well, now, I don't know if there actually was,
he says it was coitus.
I might not even know what that is.
And he said...
It was grosses.
He said... I knew then I was gay, because if this is one of the most beautiful women in the world. If I can't get excited over her...
Oh. Well, he must have been excited,
gay, right? That's what he said.
Yeah.
Now, now, what do you think of this?
I don't know what to think of it. I mean, I don't know if it's a compliment, if it's a backhanded, whatever. I don't know. I'm happy that he's happy with his own sexuality. I'm glad that he's figured it out.
Did she break the news?
Had she told you that she?
I knew that they had dated. I mean, I never delved in for the details.
Right. What do you say to that?
He's finding out for the first time today that Neil Patrick said that on our show?
No, he was aware of it, he said.
He was aware that they dated.
No, he was aware of what Neil Patrick Harris said when he came in. But still, how do you have that conversation with your wife? Or you don't even have that conversation.
Well, first of all, do you want to hear about any of the dudes that your wife banged before she met you?
No.
Okay. Then, do you want to hear about the gay dude she banged who's like this really gay guy now?
No. But again, Ben knows what he's getting into when he walks into the Howard Stern show, and he rolls with things very well. The other thing he didn't want to talk about was Owen Wilson. And this is after talking about a bunch of different things in his personal life. But it seemed like Owen Wilson's attempted suicide was just hands off.
Well, they're really good friends. He probably doesn't want to talk about it. But he's like, I'm not going to talk about this. And he started to talk about it. And then it got really crowded in there, and he reeled back on it. But, I didn't think Howard was that out of line. He's sort of like, hey, you're directing a movie. You got just your life's work. It's a movie you worked on for 20 years. What do you do when a guy drops out?
Did you think that question was out of line, Benji?
No, not at all. And I didn't think... I thought Ben didn't handle it in a really good way. I think he should. If he doesn't want to talk about it, it's okay. I would respect that. But it just he made it like it was this horrible thing that it made.
The guy tried to kill himself.
No. That's horrible. But it's not crazy that Howard would say, like, how do you handle a situation like that?
Yeah, I think everybody's nervous when Howard brings up stuff like that, but I thought the question was a legitimate question. He probably said, "Hey, you know what, man? He's a great guy. We got somebody else for the movie. It was a tough time, and we moved on."
Hey, it's Sal Governale, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, we discuss one of my screw-ups in the Bob Levy spelling game, and then somehow the conversation went over to Robin and her talking too much. That was my opinion. That was constructive criticism. And after you see what I have to say, I think you're going to agree with me. So check it out.
Sal, I'm glad you came down here. I see your stuff in your face. I'll give you a second. But I know you apologize for the misspelling and you blame Google and Gary and Robin and everything else, but ultimately you took responsibility for your mistake.
No, in an argument where one's right and one's wrong and it's Sal and Google, I think one is Sal, who was trapped in a pizzeria as a kid.
Hostage.
Hostage. And the other one is a company that recruits Harvard and Yale kids. So I don't know, Sal. It's
I think
a bad
you summed
matchup.
up. I think you summed it up right there.
But Sal, you did the greatest prank ever, you and Richard. It was vintage, you guys, and then
thank
you
you,
fuck
Art.
up 10 minutes later. So explain the fuck up. We don't care about the podcast.
Exactly. Why'd you blame Google?
Talk about your fuck
Because
up.
when Google didn't work, I went to Gary.
But did you take responsibility for it?
Yes, absolutely.
No.
I do take responsibility. And, I did it in a way where when I wasn't sure about the word, I Googled it. But the thing is, at the time, I never noticed the top. It says, did you mean so-and-so?
Right.
I just I'll type in cemetery, and then if I see, and I'll scan the page, and if I see that spelling, I assumed I got it right.
So it gave you all the hits on the other idiots that spelled it wrong.
That's exactly it, right. So I found on Google all the idiots just like me, and I fucked up.
Sal, when we were talking about it, though, a bigger issue came up, I think, which Gary alluded to, which is,
Sure.
I don't know, did you hear what he said? He said that you're telling Gary that he's your boss and
Right.
everything, and then away from Gary, you're like, you know what, I'm
Well,
doing just fine.
I said on the air that I screwed up, and then when Howard just kept pecking at me, I said, this is a time for a good old-fashioned Baba Booey moment.
But that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're
this is
talking
something
about
different.
off
You're
the
not
air.
listening.
People are telling me off the air that you're going around saying, I let Gary think he's the boss, but I know who's wrong.
Oh, no. I might have said it in front of the camera, but Gary, that's definitely not true.
I wonder.
So who?
I wonder if you didn't go to
Thank
the-
you, Sal.
Gary.
I wonder if you didn't go to the Stuttering John School of Disrespect.
No. Gary, you know more than I. Like, even today when we put a game together, I specifically break it down. I make sure that you know.
Sal, if you're going to go to a Stuttering John school,
I would never go to that school.
You should go to the Stuttering John School of getting an insanely great job without any skills school.
You should go to the Stuttering John School of I can't remember where I put my wallet.
You should go to the post Howard Stern job placement school because he's the fucking master of that.
Gary, do you believe that Sal respects you at your job?
I think for the most part he does, but I think Sal is one of those guys, who will say whatever needs to be said, where it needs to be said to make himself look good.
Well, I don't know about looking good.
Yeah, he's a jerk off.
Right, yeah, they are. Yeah.
I was going for two-face.
Yeah, but I'm a jerk
professional
off.
jerk.
I'm
Yeah.
a jerk off.
Yeah,
too,
but-
so, Sal, just say you're being a jerk off when you fuck with Gary like that.
I agree. And you know what? It's funny. I wanted to bring something up about Stuttering John. In the beginning, I like what Stuttering John did, but it came to a point where it wasn't funny anymore. It was just browbeating. It got a little.
Are you talking about me or anybody?
I'm talking about Stuttering John.
With anybody?
With you.
Oh.
But
Look who's talking.
I know. No, but I think
the guy who built the wall of teeth in Times Square.
And I loved what John did and stuff to certain degrees, but I felt like it just wasn't funny anymore. It just was like it was mean spirited. And believe it or not, I'm trying to pull away from that. Today, it's been a while since I broke Gary's balls, but when you have like Howard looking at you, I feel like a third grader in the principal's office.
It's rough getting yelled at by Howard
but
because
sometimes
it's impossible to win an argument because he's a good
I'm grasping
arguer.
for straws, and
sometimes you just got to own up to it.
And I did, but I'm grasping for straws, and he's giving me that look. It's like the fucking, it's like the Wizard of Oz looking down at you with the flames coming up and everything,
Sal,
I'm shivering like the lion, and all of a sudden I'm just like, where do I go? Oh, okay, Baba Booey.
Sal, do you
he's my saving grace.
hold on.
sometimes.
Deflection.
Do you understand why Howard was so embarrassed and
because
upset?
I made him look like an ass, and you don't make Howard look like an ass on the show. I mean, I screwed up. The guy is running a show. He's doing the best he can. He can't stop and think, and cover everything. He's running a show, and then all of a sudden, it's one of those things he glanced over, and I made him look foolish.
Now, will you be insulted if you get an email tonight where Beth said you put a Post-it on your computer and you should check Webster's dictionary?
No, I won't be.
But another reason he was mad, Sal,
but that was funny.
From a comedy point of view, is it ruined the bit.
Right.
It ruins the bit
Sure.
if we can't spell too, although Levy spelled existence EXF, I think. But, so he looked really bad, but we look stupid too, so the bid is destroyed.
Well, we're one big happy stupid family. I was stupid.
No, we're not.
And the first thing
we have stupid cousins.
And the first thing
thing
you said when you walked in there was, "I know I'm stupid. I know you just." Do you feel like Howard just wanted to go down that road?
Yes, I wanted to kind of like cover my tracks by saying what he would say, so he would get it out of the way.
How did How did you know what he was going to say?
Well, after a while working here, you kind of get the impression of what's going to happen. You kind of get a feeling of what he's going to say, and I knew what he was going to say as soon as he saw that, or whatever the fuck it is, and he called Gary, and Gary said it was. I knew. I mean, my heart just sunk. And I said, here it comes. Here comes the beating. It's been a while. And I walked in. It's
actually been a few days.
And it was like going to Bogey Land, like from March of the Wooden Soldiers. And I walk in there, and then sure enough, he just...
Sal with a great Laurel and Hardy reference.
Yeah, I was a big Laurel and Hardy fan.
And you smacked Robin a couple times, too.
It is like going to Bogey Land, though.
It's like Buster Keaton and Seven Brides.
It's like Harold Lloyd hanging off the clock.
With Robin... Look, I like Robin. I'm not going to be one of those guys. I love Robin, but I like Robin, but she's got to know her place sometimes.
What is her place?
Well, yeah, what do you
know
mean
what I mean? Well, there's a pilot and there's a co-pilot.
Back of the bus, Sal? Is that what you're saying?
No. That's a long time ago.
But what is it? You mean, in other words, Howard's a pilot?
Enough, Sal.
Howard's a pilot. She's got to sort of pipe down.
In certain cases.
But like what? Like a case like where Howard's browbeating you?
Right. No, there's a time to speak, there's a time not to speak.
Are you saying Robin's interrupting a lot?
I'm surprised the bottom of Robin's sneakers are not on Howard's tongue. She steps on him so fucking much sometimes.
I agree.
She doesn't have track mark. I'm surprised she doesn't have track marks all over his fucking face from her Reeboks, because she sometimes just keeps interjecting. It's like, hey, you're gonna fucking spew your garbage at 10 o'clock for 45 minutes. Get it all out then. Hold back a little bit.
You're calling the news garbage?
No, I'm just a figure of speech. Spew her stuff or whatever.
I feel like we're all like cannibalizing each other now. Like we're all like this.
Well, we're not.
We're all like, he's yelling, Artie's talking too much. He's yelling, Robert's talking too much. I feel like come on, we used to be a family. What happened?
This is family, Gary.
Do you mean we're all eating each other?
It's a dysfunctional family.
I know, but I feel like we're tearing each other down.
I know. Well,
but listen, even Artie agrees.
It is weird, Gary. Lately, there's been negativity on the Howard Stern show.
I can't believe. No, I mean, Robin.
So wait, you said at 10 o'clock Robin should do her thing. So from 6 till 10, do you think she should just sit there?
No,
knowing that she's got the last hour.
No, but she should know her place. Like
she's like the number 9 hitter.
To me lately. I mean, if I love Robin, I'll give her constructive criticism right now.
I thought you said.
All right, you want me to tell the truth?
No. You didn't say.
I love Robin. This is not a diss. This is not negativity.
Let's hear what he has to say. What do you have to say?
Hold on.
I admire Robin. I look up to Robin. I pinch myself every day that I'm working with a great person on the Howard Stern show.
You look up to Robin because she's taller than you.
But if I may give her some constructive criticism, like she would for me, somebody you care about.
Okay, what is your constructive criticism?
Slow down on chiming in. Slow it down, Robin. Slow it the fuck down. When there's a guest on and Howard's mid-sentence in a question and she chimes in and she just demolishes that question with something from left field, sometimes it makes my hands crunch into a fist. Just take it easy on chiming in so much. Think about what you want to say. Think if it's that important to interrupt Howard Stern when you say it, and then take the approach, whether you're going to do it or not. She has a tendency sometimes to get real. She's become a pig on the mic. The micro, like a hog, hogging it up. Just take it easy. Don't be so piggish on the mic.
When did you start?
Slow it down.
When did you start feeling this way?
Geez,
1982?
No, I would say, recently, about 7 months ago, somebody sent in an email and Howard read it that Robin is chiming in a lot. She's not chiming in, she's stepping on Howard a lot. And Howard read it, and I remember that week she really piped down a lot. And you know what? She was brilliant. And I loved her, and I still love her, but she's got to know her role. You can't have too much of everything. You're going to turn people off. Slow it down, Robin. Just slow it down a little. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart in a kind manner. Just take it easy.
So let me ask you a question. The 28 or 29 years of chemistry that Howard and Robin have together, you're saying that she's veering off from that?
I think she's really good at what she does, but I think she's becoming so confident that she's Robin Stern. You're Robin Quivers. You're the sidekick. You're the co-pilot. Wait for the pilot to make the move, and then listen to him and know your role. Know your place. You know what I mean?
Hi, this is Fred Norris of the Howard Stern Show. Guess what? On the wrap-up show for Wednesday, we had a very exciting talk about Jesse James, the outlaw bike builder. We spoke about what a great guy he was. We spoke about how he was willing to build Howard a custom-made chopper, which could run up to $100,000 in cost. We talked about, this is almost as long as the wrap-up show. Why don't you just watch it instead?
Our in-studio guest today was the one, the only Jesse James. And did you know a lot about Jesse James coming into this, Gary?
Knew nothing about him.
Really?
In fact, I mean, here's what I knew about him. That he used to be married to Janine, that he had something to do with motorcycles. I wasn't sure what. And that he's married to Sandra Bullock. But my first hint that he was more than just a guest came when our very own program director, Tim, came in and said that was his hero. He said that, he goes, "You're my hero." And I didn't understand exactly what he meant. And now, as everyone called in, I realized, like, if you're into motorcycles, he's the guy.
Well, it's not only that, Gary. That's when Tim encountered you. You didn't see Tim jumping and running down the hallway to get to see Jesse James. I mean, he was just, he had stars in his eyes.
Yeah, he said Tim told me he was nervous meeting Jesse James. And I was a bit of a dick. I felt really bad. He goes, "Jesse, I just got to tell you, you're my hero. You're unbelievable. I think the world of you." And I go, "That's so funny," because that's what he said to Arlen Specter last week. Because it's true. He likes Arlen Specter, too.
Now, does Jesse James come off as a badass at all?
No, I mean, I didn't know much about him, but he's got a really good vibe. He just seems like a good guy. He's like sort of, I read the notes on him, and I see he's been through some crazy shit, but he doesn't look like he's going to kick your ass, except for all the tattoos going up and down both arms. But he seems like a sort of a gentle guy, and I don't know. I thought he came across as really nice.
And Tim wasn't the only one who was excited. Fred was happy about it, and I think Fred's going to drop by. But Robin was also very excited to meet Jesse James.
Is that the titties were out for him? Is that what the deal was?
That's the rumor that was going around. I don't know if there's any truth to that.
The truth is the titties were out. Whether for him or not, I don't know.
Right, that may not have been the reason. But had you seen him at all on Celebrity Apprentice?
No, in fact, I only heard a couple of clips. I heard one clip that JD had pulled for when Dennis Rodman was here, where Dennis Rodman went off on him. So, in fact, I thought I knew what he looked like, and I was completely wrong. I don't know why. I thought he was Ricky Rackman. You know what I mean? Like, that's the vision I had in my head. Jesse James, I don't know, all those West Coast guys that were married to porn stars. So I probably couldn't even pick him out of a lineup before today. But again, really nice guy.
I mean, he's a lot different on Celebrity Apprentice based on the way they put it together. And you got to hear, he spoke more here than he did in the entire season. And I thought he was pretty charming. Did you like him on the show today, Benji?
Yeah, I think he was very likable. It was funny. I like how pissed he got at Ralph, though. It was like he's such a nice, friendly guy, but like Ralph really got him. Like he looked like he was like ready to start punching someone.
Well, one, that's Ralph's expertise, as we all know, and two, you don't want to mess with this guy, and he talked about that a little bit. He doesn't want to put that out there because he's challenged a lot, because he's known to be a pretty tough customer.
Takes one swing at me, I'll have all that miscongeniality money.
And miscongeniality too.
Exactly.
Don't forget that. Now, before we get to Sandra, we got to talk about Janine. He didn't really talk a lot about their marriage, but you could tell it was a rough ride.
Yeah, he kept calling it his nuclear disaster, which is, you never want to have your relationship referred to that way. And I thought that the line really hit it on the head. Howard goes, "It must have been great. You're married to this porn star." And he goes, "Dude, everything isn't the way it looks when you see it," and that spoke volumes about it.
Yeah, if you missed it,
well, actually, I'm sorry. I don't know if you have the line.
Yeah, I think I have the line you're talking about. Here's I think this sums it up pretty much. Hit it, Ted.
Was it weird for you being married to a porn star for a while? Like, I mean, is it that like guys think that they can have their way with your wife, and
I think it she'd been retired for like 5 years.
Right.
And so it wasn't really like on the tip of your tongue. It wasn't like she's a current huge star. It was like over in the past and she was changing. But then, I think it's harder for her to be in that kind of spotlight,
Would you recommend that a guy marry a porn star, or do you think that they have too many problems, that it's just too much of a thing to overcome?
Just buy the DVD.
Just buy the DVD. Yeah,
Don't even go there. Just buy the DVD.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better to beat off.
That was a line.
Yeah, that pretty much sums that up. And were you surprised when you learned that he was married, not today, but in the past, when he was married to Sandra Bullock? That kind of came out of nowhere, and that relationship seems to have stuck for a little while.
You mean surprised that they ever got? I mean, at the beginning, again, I'm as guilty as anybody. You don't know anything about people, and you just see them in the tabloids, and you see this guy that used to be married to Janine, who's some biker dude. You see him and Sandra Bullock together, and you go, oh, it must be Sandra Bullock's sort of fling, her wild fling. Certainly they can't really like each other, but I don't know anything about him, and it turns out that they really love each other.
Yeah, even he said she figured he'd be a bigot, he'd be this and that, and they ended up doing pretty well together. And Howard found out a lot about how they carve up their finances as well.
I think Howard probably got more out of him than he's probably done in any interview. And he even said at one point, he goes, when Howard asked about the sex, he goes, dude, I'm going to stop. I've already said enough.
Now, he also gave advice about how you have to listen to girlfriends and your wife, and he's talking about going gardening, and that's the greatest idea I've ever heard.
Right, but he said it in such a sarcastic way, as if you have to be really not sincere and go, honey, gardening's great.
And he let's go to.
They don't have kids together though, right? He's got his own kid with Janine, but him and Sandra don't have kids together.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that it's easy to pretend to want to go gardening.
That's true. Paul in Philly, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Great. Listen, I just wanted to tell you, I thought Jesse was really good today. You could tell it's like two different guys. I watched a little bit of that Apprentice, and it's like very uncomfortable there. And in the studio, he just seemed like he was at home, with you guys.
Yeah, he said, I got to tell you, he told me in the green room, and he said it when he first walked in, too. He said he was extremely nervous about coming on. He'd done 60 Minutes on all these other shows, but to him, Howard was like a different level, and he was very nervous about coming on.
Yeah, it just seemed like, he really hit it off with you guys. He was really happy to be there,
Yeah, good guy. Good guy.
Do you think people can appreciate a guy like Jesse James because of what he does? I think initially you hear, he makes bikes, and he's
he just makes bikes. You know what I mean? Like again, I don't know much about motorcycles, and this much what I'm about to say I learned from Fred. Fred will talk in a minute because he just showed up. But I didn't realize that to me a motorcycle is a motorcycle, and that there are guys who make motorcycles that's like a piece of art if you're into motorcycles.
It really is. I mean, it's one of the few things that you can buy. I mean, when he was talking, he said the most expensive motorcycle that he made was $300,000. When you think about a handcrafted, personalized motor vehicle for you, that's a bargain. I mean, if you can afford $300,000.
That was the other great part of the show this morning was when he offered Howard a bike, to make Howard a bike, and Howard said, first of all, listen, I could buy my own bike.
There are
Tim came to my office and started jumping up and down again and going, I can't believe he's not going to take the bike. Why won't he take the bike? He's got to take the bike.
Tim was very excited out there.
What he should do is he should get a Howard wig and go up to him and say, I was just kidding out there. I mean, I really want the bike. Now send it to Tim's address.
Now, Fred, you're an expert in this field. I
don't know about an expert, but
you're knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable.
How good is Jesse James at what he does?
He's definitely one of the top 5 bike builders that there are around. I mean, somebody brought up Indian Larry today, rest in peace. He was one of the greats too, and there are guys that are like that. And I really think it's like the last frontier in terms of like customized cars and bikes and things like that. People don't customize cars that much anymore because I think they all look the same and they all look like jelly beans. But at least with a motorcycle, it's like the last frontier. It's kind of like being a cowboy.
Now, that Orange County Choppers, are those guys just an interesting show, or are they really good motorcycle makers?
You know what? The jury's out on them. The real aficionados of bike building, they poo-poo them. And I'm one of the few people that doesn't, because I think anybody that brings bikes into the collective consciousness of the United States and makes them more acceptable and makes them appealing to the masses, that was one of the things that Jesse was talking about this morning. When you're riding in traffic, people have no respect for motorcyclists. I mean, they barely have enough respect for other cars.
Well, I think
when you're on a motorcycle, you're very vulnerable.
I don't know why this pisses me off. I'm always very respectful. Like a motorcycle guy, if he's in front of me, I like to be very far behind because I always think if he falls, I don't want to run him over.
Right.
The thing that always pisses me off about a motorcycle guy is when he goes between cars.
Something, I agree with that. And I think in New York State, I mean, there's certain places in the country where I think that's legal. I don't think in New York State that is legal. And I agree. I think it's a dangerous practice. And I think people should not do that because it freaks people out.
Well, also, a motorcycle guy, like on the highway, they always show up in your blind spot when they do that.
Well, that again, it's like that comes down to bad motorcycle riding. I mean, I used to ride a lot when I was like 14, 15, 16 years old. I rode a motorcycle before I ever drove a car. And I got a motorcycle again about maybe 10 years ago. I hadn't ridden in years. Maintained my license, hadn't ridden in years. And I, when I decided I was going to go back, I signed up for a motorcycle safety course, took a series of lessons, read a lot of books, and that's one of the reasons I feel fairly confident when I'm riding on the road, because they'll teach you where not to ride in the blind spot, what not to do, the stupid things that you can do to get yourselves in the trauma unit.
All this talk about safety, so that brings me to a question. You've known Howard longer than me. Mm-hmm. Is in your time with the show, was there ever any chance that Howard's getting on a motorcycle?
Not unless Bianca and Beth were like being held for ransom or something. There's no way that he would do it.
On Thursday's wrap-up show, Sal came by, and I don't know how it came up, but we got started talking about Robin again. And Sal at first was trying to explain himself, but then he broke down a little bit, and it led to a lot of good conversation, a lot of controversy, and Robin eventually coming in here to confront him on what's going on in Sal's mind. And I've been trying to figure that out for 3.5 years. But it was a good show, and watch for yourself. Why are you so glum?
I'm not glum. Just waiting for my beating.
You seem glum.
I'm on standby.
Why do you say that every time? I'm waiting for my beating.
Because whenever I express myself on this godforsaken shithole, I get ripped apart the next day. No, I do. And you know what? I'm going to. Maybe this is a good thing.
What are we talking about here? Are we talking about the game, or are we talking about how you verbally attacked Robin?
Which godforsaken shithole are you referring to?
Okay, I know I attacked Robin. I didn't view it as an attack. I knew I attacked Robin. I didn't view it as an attack. It came off as an attack.
Well, how would you view it?
You just said, I know I attacked. Without being redundant, it was constructive criticism that she took personally. And I know a lot of people feel that way, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I offended Robin. That wasn't my intent. But, if somebody else gave criticism, it wouldn't be as bad. I always have to be the guy that stepped on in the
that's
end.
not true.
That's wrong.
That's just not true.
No, it is. It's true.
It is.
Because I'm the only one who gave Robin good advice, as far as I'm concerned.
No, you're the only one that gave her that advice, and you think it's good advice, and that's you could think that. But
I can. You're not better than me, Gary, to tell me.
I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm saying you don't have the ability to recognize that you took a solid 10 minutes on the wrap-up show to talk about how Robin is literally single-handedly fucking up the show, and it's your opinion that she's fucking up the show, and we don't say a word, and we let you say whatever you want, and you don't have the ability to think that she might be offended by that.
Well, you interpret it as me saying she fucked up the show. I said I would prefer if she just slowed down a little bit, and that's what I really said.
Slow down. Know your place. Slow the fuck down.
And that's it. And then it just turns to this whole... So, you know what? I'm not going to express my opinions anymore on you guys, because when I do, everybody gets into a tizzy, everybody gets all upset. It's not worth it.
Actually, you probably get called on the carpet about 1 out of every 10 times you express your opinion, because you express your opinion a lot. But seriously, when you were talking, did it not hit you in the head that Robin might not appreciate that? Were you surprised when Robin grabbed you in the hallway?
I lost a little sleep the night before.
Did she just?
It started hitting me like, oh boy, I wonder how she's going to interpret this. I hope I didn't. I felt bad about it. I thought it was.
But why would you feel bad? It's just.
I was a little harsh,
but it's an opinion. It wasn't an attack.
It was tough love.
Right, like when you said that Howard's tongue had Robin's feet mark on it. Like, was that?
It's got a Reebok mark.
Well, Reebok mark.
Sometimes you have to paint the picture to get your point across, and I felt at that moment that was the case. And I have no ill will towards Robin. She told me to fuck off. God bless her. Whatever she wants.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what happened? She just grabbed you in the kitchen and said, fuck off?
She was in the kitchen.
Or did you say something to her first? Like, did you say, hey, I love you? Or
no, I didn't say, hey, I love you.
Hey, Robin, listen, about that you suck thing.
I said something like, hello, Robin. She's like, should I say hello back, or would I be talking too much? And
and you go, really? What do you mean?
And I said, really? What do you mean? I really did. And she's like, and she goes, Sal. I'm like, Robin, you know, as soon as I said that, and I do, and I said it on the show too. She goes, love you, schmuv. You don't start with that bullshit. You know, just because you have, and she really laced into me. She's like, just because you have problems at home and and you have the ability to stand up to your wife, and you have issues with women, you think you could take it out on me? That I'm like, no, it's not. That's not the case at all. I go, Robin, that's not the case. I go, I just want to let you know that in certain circumstances, I think you chime. And she's like, fuck off. And she turned around with her cup of celery juice that's going to go up her ass in the next 5 minutes. And I said, Robin, I go, let me. She goes, take another step. I'm throwing this in your face. And I'm like, whoa, you know. And that was it. And
you know what the greatest part is?
I feel, the thing is, I really feel bad. I don't like to have tension between people, especially your coworkers and your friends. I feel bad about it, but it bothers me. Like, I don't know, like I expressed how I felt, but it's not worth it.
I don't think you expressed it in a way that somebody would like. You thought it was constructive, but it really did come across as a bit of an attack. And my favorite part, by the way, is how you made a point of telling us that day, I'm not going to be one of those fucking assholes that says, I love you, Robin, but. And all you've ever said, starting every sentence, including when you saw her in there, was, I love you.
Yeah, that's true. But I said that I'm not going to be an asshole that says, I love you, but, because I really do love her. Like, I'm not going to be a liar. That's what I meant. Like, after, you know, on the show
I'll take 500 shares of Logistics, please.
You need a decipher from, like, the Da Vinci Code to figure out what Sal means when he says shit.
When you get caught in a conversation with Sal, I do understand why he was so successful at selling stock. Because he really tells you, like, sometimes I would walk out of there confused.
Well, that's because he says 3 different opinions that often contradict each other in one statement.
I said what I meant.
What?
And
Robin walks all over Howard?
That I care about Robin, but I felt lately she's been chiming in too much, and I meant that. I expressed it in maybe in a harsh way that she took offense to it, and I'm sorry that she took offense. I don't like the tension. I do like Robin, and I think she's great at what
Assuming
she
your
does.
criticism comes from a sincere place, did it ever occur to you that maybe a 25-year broadcasting veteran didn't want to hear the opinion of a stockbroker?
More like a 30-year veteron. Robin's been on there for like 30 years.
A wise man learns from a fool. Fool learns from no one. What? It's exactly what I said. If you guys can't interpret that,
a wise man learns from a fool, and a fool learns from no one.
So that means there's always something you can learn, whether God...
No, what it means is a fool has the inability to learn nothing, but a wise man should listen to the fool.
Yeah, you can learn from a fool's mistakes. You can learn from a fool and a fool's actions. But there's always advice to be given.
So who are you in the scenario? Who are you?
Unfortunately, I'm the fool because Robin has the experience, so I'm putting Robin on the pedestal here. But she can learn, so you can always learn something.
But I'm just saying it was unsolicited.
Hey,
like if she had come to you as a friend
Richard
and
Roper
said,
have the right to tell somebody how to direct a film? No, but he could critique it. Yet he has no experience in that field.
But
I have experience.
You're not
at least a little bit, not as much as Robin.
Technically, you're not here to critique. Richard's hired to critique. That's
and that
a big
goes
difference.
back to my first statement. I'm done giving my opinion and critiquing.
Oh, put the $1,000 on the table right now. There's no way you're done.
As much as it pains me, I'm done.
You're not done.
Honesty is dead.
And you're the fool, and you've learned nothing based on your analogy?
No, a wise man learns from a fool learns from no one.
So who have you learned from?
I've learned to keep my mouth shut. I've learned from this fool myself, I guess.
Jack in Long Island, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah,
I think that's an Aesop fable or something. Look it up. It's on Google.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to talk to Sal about what's going on with him.
Oh, this is Ronnie Munt.
Who?
I could tell. I could smell the Metamucil coming off your skin.
Yeah, well, hey, dude.
Yeah, I can smell.
You know what, dude? You do this every time.
Take that diaper you have around your ass and wrap it around your mouth.
You do this every time. You cause trouble for yourself.
I do.
And then you cry like a baby.
I'm not crying one bit.
Jeff,
I'm just learning my lesson.
Now you did it with Robin. Then
I didn't do anything with Robin.
Like a little baby.
Ronnie, I'm not being a baby
Jack,
here. I'm learning, Ronnie, that I shouldn't express myself because you get in trouble.
Baby, man, you don't quit.
Baby, just the opposite of a very, very old person.
Go lock yourself
is this
in your
Jack?
room, like I told you a long time ago. Go lock yourself in a room there.
Ronnie, I'm sorry, Ronnie, that you have to ride my coattails for attention, but your point your point is just worthless. It's just stupid.
My point is so right.
No, it's not
because
right.
you do this
I
every
expressed
time.
myself about Robin. Robin got upset. I'm upset that she's upset. It's not worth it.
Who are you to express yourself about Robin?
And who are you to tell me what I should and should not do?
Because you're hired here to be a writer.
And you're hired to be Howard's driver, so shut the fuck up and drive.
I do.
What are you doing calling in on a show?
I'm waiting for him. I'm busy.
All right, wait. Settle down, everybody. Now,
Jesus Christ, this guy.
Hold on,
Stupid
Sal.
asshole.
Wait a second.
You're a stupid asshole.
Now, Jack, doesn't Sal have the right to express his opinion?
No, not. Why should he? Who is he?
I mean, if he's asked a question, he's simply answering it.
Nobody asked him to make it give opinion on Robin, whether she should talk more or talk less. Who is he? He's nobody.
Robin's here.
Hold off on the break. Robin's here.
Rob, can you come right here, Robin? So
I'm in the hall and people just keep telling me stuff about Sal saying various things. Why is this still going on?
Well,
didn't you have your say? I
said
heard
I felt bad.
No, he's not. He hasn't been degrading you. What he's saying?
No. But he said he was delivering a communication. I got it.
He doesn't. We were asking him how he could go off for 20 minutes and give his opinion. I put in quotation marks, and I said, "Did you not think that it might come back to bite you?" And he goes, "No, not really.
Well, when somebody said Sal didn't understand, I said he could stop there. He doesn't have to put anything after that sentence. Sal doesn't understand anything.
That's true.
Just say that. I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I would egg you on, Robin, but right before you walked in, Sal's like pretty much on suicide watch right now.
No, I'm not.
Ronnie told me that Sal said he's losing sleep. I said, you shouldn't tell me that.
Yeah, because we feel bad.
So, Robin, did you take Sal's advice to heart?
Oh, shut up, John.
Do you really think I would take Sal's advice for anything?
No. But clearly, I mean, you yelled at him in the kitchen, so something must have bugged you one way or the other.
Sal isn't attacking me. Sal is attacking all women when he talks to me.
That's what she said in the
And that's what I don't mind an attack on me. Like I said, when he said Artie did something wrong, it was Artie did something wrong. When he says, something to me, it's like, know your place. Well, where would my place be?
This week in Arizona.
Howard's at the window. He sees Robin talking to Sal, and he's got this quizzical look on his face, like, should I go in there? And then he just left.
He's like, so what would your advice to Sal be?
I don't have any advice for Sal, because if I try to give Sal advice, because quite frankly, when I was talking to him on the air, I was trying to explain to him what a Google search is, which I don't think he understands. And I got, know your place. Shut up. Stop piping up over there. So I can't give Sal advice.
Robin brings up a good point. Like, when you fight with Artie, why don't you tell Artie to know his place?
Because Artie threw a CD at my eyeball.
Are you still angry at him, Robin?
I'm not angry at all. I didn't even know this was going on. And people are telling me. I said, but the worst thing to tell me is that I made you lose sleep, because I'll keep you up the rest of your life.
All right, Gene Simmons is on the phone. He is a founding member of KISS, very successful guy. Originally, Gene was supposed to come in with Paul Stanley. We were going to see them here live today, but from what I understand, and maybe Gene, hi.
Good morning, Howard.
Good morning.
What a nice lead-in. It's charming. Do you have twat cream? And now here's Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Well, you followed worse, I'm sure.
That's right.
Very classy. I appreciate that. All right, go ahead with the Paul question.
Okay, and if you can be serious about this, I would love to really know, because KISS is a very, very successful business. And you and Paul and the rest of the guys all started out together. Listen, you were young guys and you started a band, and what are the odds of it all working? And it did. It worked. KISS became very successful and still is successful. In fact, we're here today to celebrate your new album. But, I get the feeling that Paul and you were booked together, and you two guys really dislike each other.
Oh, that's not the case. The opposite is the case. He didn't want to sit early in the morning and get torn apart with twat jokes by Howard Stern.
That's not what I understand.
Well, how do you understand?
Well, Sal's a huge KISS fan, and he was saying that that Paul is fed up with Gene bragging about his sex. And also that Paul refuses to go on Gene's reality show, which is in its 4th season.
Well, that's true. No, the 5th season shooting, as a matter of fact, tomorrow here in New York.
Does that upset you that Paul won't do your show?
No, he's just a private guy. You know, he's got 3 kids. Erin, his wife, is right down the hall. And the beautiful Shannon Tweed, who you, Howard Stern, married man, want to devour. I've seen it.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, well, I've seen it. You're lascivious, and even though you have a ring on your schmeckle finger, I've seen you look at her.
And also, yeah, I think Gene's wife is very attractive.
I'm not married. Don't play that game.
Gene's girlfriend is very attractive.
Wouldn't they be considered common law?
Common law wife.
You don't. What you need is a cohabitation agreement with individual counsel, and then it nullifies and invalidates any law of the land.
Yeah, I think Gene's pretty well.
He's so up on the law here.
He probably sat with a team of lawyers and made sure he wasn't getting himself into anything. But it's funny. I recall the last time Gene was here. He was here with his beautiful wife.
Yeah,
you're killing me.
And I said to Gene,
I'm not married. I'm going to do that every time you do that, so we can do the laugh every time. But we have to be factual, Howard.
I said to Gene, why is it you've been with this woman so long and you still fuck around? And Gene said to me, look, I don't fuck around on my wife. And I said, Gene.
He said, I don't fuck around on my wife?
That's right. I mean, not wife, his girlfriend. Or whatever, living, whatever. So I said, would you take a lie detector test? And Gene said yes. Now, I told Gene he couldn't tape it for his TV show, so he went ahead and he went on Adam Carolla's show and did the lie detector test.
And did he pass?
What happened when you went on Adam's show and did it?
I passed.
You did pass?
Yeah.
We're going to take his word for that?
Robin Quivers took an oath of silence. And as far as I know, she hasn't said anything. Right, Robin?
I haven't said anything. There's nothing to say.
Did you blow Gene Simmons?
There's absolutely nothing to say.
No, I blew Corolla. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, you should.
Now, I just want to say, what a segue. Here's Howard Stern saying, the powerful and attractive Gene Simmons, he's probably here to promote something. And then your wonderful female announcer with the sexy come-hither voice says, and Howard Stern is celebrating the 5th year that he signed a multi-million-dollar deal with this. Yes, that's true. Come on.
What?
Kettle and pot. First, before the break, you said Gene Simmons is going to be coming on. He's probably going to be promoting something.
No, listen, wait a second. You can't compare my career.
Went on
Gene, you can't compare your career with mine in the sense that you sell everything. I do not.
Yeah, but I don't call myself the master of media. I just call myself the master.
The king of all media thing was a goof.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you sell everything. Listen to this. Gene went on eBay.
I did not.
Hold it. Did you not sell your kidney stone on eBay for $15,000?
Yes.
So there you go.
How do you do that?
But that was for charity.
Oh, that was for charity.
Well, of course.
No, but Gene, you sell everything.
Buying that?
She lived down the road, and she needed another car.
Gene will sell everything Kiss. Everything is Kiss, Kiss, Kiss. And but I don't put him down for it. I'm just saying I don't do that.
No, I think you have a point. Sonic Boom, our first studio album in over 10 years, is being released, in fact, today or tomorrow at all Walmarts across the country. And Walmart, for the first time in their history, is giving us 4 Kiss corners. In every corner in Walmart, it's turning into Kiss. That's like 16,000 Kiss corners where you can buy T-shirts and popcorn farts and everything else with Kiss on it.
Yeah, it's a big deal for them. Are you going on Letterman tonight?
Yes, your pal.
Will you say to Letterman?
Are you guys going to be interviewed?
We usually don't talk. We do our talking on stage.
So you're going to perform?
Yeah, we're going to try to blow the place up. You know what you should do, Howard?
Go ahead.
When was the last time anybody called you Howie, by the way?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. What you should do is to get out of there. You know, I know you go out to Long Island, you're with your beautiful wife, and then you come into work. You never have any fun. You should come out and see us at the Garden. We're playing there in 2 days. You should come out and see how the big boys do it. Enough with a thing like you should be the lead singer in the Ramones, Joey Stern. How much have you got in that?
See, here's the difference between me and Gene. Gene does private meet and greets at every concert for $500.
No, that's not true.
That's
not true.
Is that true or not?
You can
How much does it cost?
How much does it cost? It's $1,000. Is it true that you will really charge $1,000 to come out and greet someone? You do?
We do, of course. If you want, you can come back, hang out, take photos. Yes.
Hang out? Is there food?
That's bullshit.
What is
dude.
it, Sal?
I want to bring my kids in the worst way to see them, but I can't afford it. It's going to cost me $1,500.
Well, but Sal, I mean,
I don't blame the guy, but he does do that. He does,
he does, yes.
Yeah, but listen, the difference between us and Streisand is, Barbara Streisand is, she'll charge $1,500 for a ticket. We don't do that. We make the tickets very affordable, anywhere from, I don't know, $40 to $150. Then if you want extra stuff, it's yours. Look, you can take a plane from New York to LA. It's like anything in life. It'll get you. You'll get there. It's not a problem.
How many people would you say after the concert come back and pay $1,000?
Before. We do it
before,
because
okay.
right after the show we disappear. The truth is, we could have as many as we wanted, but physically we can't do more than right under 100, because then we're just depleted for the show.
So you're saying you can make $100,000 extra dollars every Kiss concert?
Oh,
wow.
If we allowed it, we'd make 1,000. We'd meet 1,000 fans.
Wow. Wow. Well, I tell you, that's
I thought there was a recession.
There's no recession for Kiss.
No, we're doing better than ever. We are.
Hey, Gene, what does Kiss bring in a year? Honestly, I mean, through everything, through your appearances, through your concerts.
I'll tell you if you tell me.
All right.
What does Howard Stern bring in a year?
$7 million.
We do much better, Howard.
All right. How much do you bring in?
Well, if we tour, you can. Out of a big tour, you can take out $100 million gross, plus merch and licensing and all that, which could be another, I don't know, 40, 50 million. And then there's ancillaries, the licensing and the merchandising and all that.
Would you?
But don't kid yourself. We work harder than any band out there.
Yeah,
I remember when I was growing up, I heard James Brown, the hardest working man in show business, and I went to see him many times. It was true. He busted his hump after he owned radio stations and record companies and all that stuff, and every single show he treated as if it was the only show he would ever do. That's our mantra.
Why the drive, though, to work so hard if you've got all this money? I know you got a lot of money.
That's the real thing about a champion. If you're a champion, if you're the fastest man alive, after you get the award and you're certified the fastest man alive, will you get up at the crack of dawn the following day when Howard Stern's not there and ESPN is not there, just by yourself at the crack of dawn, and will you try to break your own record? If you do, then you are a champion. If you're not, you're going to be yesterday's hero.
When you performed on American Idol with Adam Lambert, I remember the moment.
Sure.
But you have been quoted as saying that, and this is interesting because you're a pretty astute guy. You've helped people get started in the business, even Van Halen. Am I correct?
I discovered that. That's right. Managed Liza Minnelli, all kinds of wacky
He
stuff.
managed Liza Minnelli.
That's right. Now, you said that Adam Lambert has killed his career
by doing what?
By coming out.
By coming out and admitting his sexual preference.
Too early. Everything is timing. The important thing, I remember when I was a kid, John Lennon was married. They never talked about that.
Right.
Whether you're straight or gay, become a mystery. Strippers don't come out naked. Take it off layer by layer. Bring the audience with you. It's called a learning curve. Don't just come out and air anything and everything out. And it has nothing to do with being gay. I don't care if you worship Satan or blow farm animals. Take them through the process slowly, and then when you become rich and famous and you don't care, then you come out.
Right. So in other words, it's a marketing thing. He should have left the mystery, it's vague, and then as he becomes
he's gorgeous by girl standards, by guy standards, so why not keep it a mystery so that when you're singing a love lyric, the girls are thinking, like the Village People, that you're singing to them.
Did you tell him this? Did you say, please don't come out of the closet?
I said, Adam, shut up. You betcha. But I also told Brian May backstage that this kid's got the goods, the most talented guy who's got the chops on any American Idol ever, that he should be the new lead singer in Queen.
But I think they offered it to him, and he said no.
I don't know if you know how to spell duh, D-U-H.
Meaning he just...
Oh, that's a stupid... Because you can have your cake and eat it too. You can be the lead singer in Queen and get all the cred you want with the masses and show everybody that you've got the chops to sing some of the finest songs ever written. I know they're one of your favorites. They're certainly one of mine.
Yes.
And then you do your solo record. Now it's... sink or swim. And listen, I've always wished him the best. I told him to his face, same thing I'm talking to you right now. I said to the kid, look, you're really talented, probably the most talented American Idol guy ever. You should really be quiet now. And the next thing is cover story, and he's doing like a Britney Spears pose. It's wrong.
So he didn't listen to you?
No.
All right. Why is there a
What
feud?
is the split of the money in KISS? Is it just him and Paul?
Well, Paul and I are founding members. Ace and Peter, by the way, Ace has got a really solid solo record. You should check it out, Anomaly. Peter, I hear, is doing a rock record.
Ace is out of the band, right?
Oh, yeah, Ace hasn't been. Well, Ace and Peter have both been in and out of the band 3 separate times.
Right.
And Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer have been in the band an awfully long time. Eric has been in and out of the band about 18 years. And Ron Wood is always going to be the new Rolling Stone guy. That's just the way life is, and that's okay.
So they don't have to really give those guys equal splits.
No, of course.
Ace and Peter get nothing.
Right.
We bought them out, and we love them and care about them and wish them all the happiness in the world. But
what does it cost to buy out those guys?
Well, we bought them out almost 30 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Boy, you really are a good businessman, huh?
Like you, Howie.
Wow. Hey, what's the feud with Sharon Osbourne? Why did she call you a silly man in a silly wig? What is this?
No, she said worse than that. So there was a comment by one of the... I've known Ozzy and Sharon for 35 years.
Right.
And very fondly hold both of them. You know, I think they're terrific, and Ozzy and I have... Well, let's just say we've known each other a long time. But there was an interviewer who interviewed me about their family and their show. And I said on the record, and look, you don't want to comment on anybody else's family because that's a personal issue, and who the hell cares what anybody else thinks anyway? This is your family and your business. And the hairs on the back of my neck would certainly stand up if anybody said something about my family. So the guy, of course, went on to say, the Gene Simmons family, Jules, not like the Osbournes. They're straight. They don't get high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't drink. They don't smoke. Of course not. I never have. But that doesn't mean that I'm saying anybody else should or shouldn't. Sharon took that as a slight and immediately went to bat, as all mothers should, to protect her family.
I see. So you're going to straighten it out with her or not?
Oh, she let it go right away when she realized what the article was about.
I see. All right. Now, when you go on Letterman, because you are going on Letterman tonight, I want to ask you one last question about this. What do you think about this? This as a man who has, betted 1 million women, are you shocked by Letterman's secret little room and the fact that he has sex with some of the women who work on the show? Are you shocked by this?
No.
But isn't it kind of shocking in the sense that he isn't like Gene Simmons, who admits to all this stuff? He's kind of a guy who's shocked even to hear the word sex, let alone to even think about it.
Power is the ultimate aphrodisiac, and I don't mean AFRO.
Right.
Like Aphrodite. And women anywhere around the world are always attracted to powerful men in powerful positions.
But did you think David was acting on it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. The suit is he's very coiffed. He comes out with a 3-piece suit and stuff and looks great, and the jokes are very reserved. He's got to let out someplace. I bet you he puts on masks and gets out there and has a whoopee of a good old time.
You think he's into some wild stuff?
Of course.
Probably anal. Who knows? What should Letterman do now, Gene? You're a guy, a marketing guy. You're a guy who understands show business. What should Letterman do now?
I think you should sue the pants off this guy who tried to blackmail him, of course.
He's going to definitely go to jail, I would think, the guy who tried to blackmail him. I don't see how he's going to get out of that.
And he should.
Right.
Of course.
Have you ever been blackmailed?
It happens all the time.
How do you blackmail Gene Simmons?
Well, you make up a crazy story, and then you put it out in the press. And then once it's out there, it's like being in front of a jury and saying something about, the person you're questioning, and then the judge is saying, please disregard that. Really?
You've been blackmailed?
Oh, all the time.
Give me an example of when you were blackmailed.
Children that aren't mine, of course. Happens all the time. And we have full-time legal, and I'm saying, that's fine. Listen, I'm happy that you say there's a child someplace that's mine. I would certainly do my fatherly duties. Please let's get together, arrange. I'd like to meet the child. I'd like to take my DNA and yours and do the right thing. And they never show up. But then we go after them. We find them, we hunt them down, and do frivolous or blackmail.
Are they women that have actually had sex with you, or are they women who just
Sometimes it's not women. Sometimes it's a guy who puts up one of his girlfriends or somebody to see if they can get some money out of Gene Simmons.
Do you have any kids outside of your relationship with
Shannon?
Absolutely not.
You do not?
No, we have.
You were blackmailed over your sex tape, right?
Oh, it happened all the time. Did you get blackmailed over yours?
I don't have one.
Howard.
What?
Okay, I'm not playing this game. It's your show. As a guest on your show, I wouldn't go there.
If there was a sex tape of me, no one would believe
How
it.
many times have you been in Scores?
Oh, many times.
You're the king of all media.
Sure, many
Are
times.
they taping you
And
in
how many
Scores?
times have the girls... It's called a cell phone. And how many times do they come over to you, Howard?
All the time.
Okay.
So then there is a sex
You're a married
tape. You're
man.
right.
I respect your institution.
I haven't gone
Your
to-
wife's name is...
Beth.
Of course. And you're saying there's no kiss connection, right?
Oh,
You keep talking about the Ramones and your wife's name's Beth.
You stay away from my wife.
She's a gorgeous woman.
That's right. Well, I don't
I'm
trust
not
you for a
gay.
minute. Hey, listen, the new single is called Modern Day Delilah, which is from the Kiss's new album, Sonic Boom. It's available today exclusively at Walmart and Sam's Club.
Hey, the Sonic Boom album isn't just a single record. You put your $12 down and you get a 3-disc, in essence, box set. You get the brand new album, produced by Paul, by the way, and a second disc of the band right here, right now, doing 15 more songs.
Did you write these songs?
We co-wrote about half the album, and Tommy Thayer wrote When Lightning Strikes, and both Tommy and Eric sing the first songs on the record. And there's a third disc. There's the live DVD of the Buenos Aires Stadium in Argentina, which we just did in April.
And Kiss is currently on its Kiss Alive 35 tour, and for tour dates, go to kissonline.com.
Well done.
All right. Thanks, Gene.
You're a powerful and attractive man, Howard.
Thank you. I appreciate that, as you are as well.
Okay. Bye.
All right, Gene. Later. There he is, Gene Simmons.
All right.
Who very...
He's got a lot of advice.
How many people, how many guys out there, Howard, you think make about 50 G's a year would spend $1,500 to meet?
I don't know. I mean, you see, Gene was trying to make some sort of analogy between what I earn from Sirius,
right,
and what he does.
Yeah, but he could only compare what he does on stage or gets for records, because that's his real business.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. Gene can do whatever he wants with Kiss, but I think it does sort of lessen what you are to sell backstage for $1,500 or to sell a sponge or a T-shirt too much.
But it doesn't seem to have dampened their fans' enthusiasm for them in any way.
No, it hasn't. And maybe I'm just an uptight asshole who doesn't think... my career, I never thought it was a good idea to sell all that stuff to the fans. I would sell things from time to time that I thought had some merit, but, maybe a DVD or a tape collection or something like this. But I don't know. I disagree with... For my career, I don't put down Gene for it if he wants to go sell all that shit.
You do.
Okay, a little bit. All right, a lot. But anyway, that's Gene Simmons.
But he's no hypocrite, Gene Simmons. He
stands up for it.
He's always straightforward.
He's straight about it.
I'm a businessman.
He goes, we do not charge our fans $1,000 to come backstage. We charge $1,500.
No, it's not $500. It's $1,000.
Whatever. I mean, it's he doesn't apologize for it. He'll tell you straight off. Remember he had the Kiss credit card and they got a nickel for every time you spend. And he goes, everyone go out and spend because Kiss will get a nickel every time you use your credit card.
Look, I'm still hung up on the coffin.
Yeah, that was wild. The Kiss coffin.
I believe Dimebag Darrell from Pantera was buried in a Kiss coffin.
Was.
He was. He requested it. Pittsburgh. Oh, Pittsburgh, Pete. I know Pete.
Yeah, Howard, thinking about you again. You're in your 50s.
Right, I'm 55, Pete, and in January 12th, I will be 56 years old, and I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, you're on your way up to close to Ronnie's age. He's going to be 60. And
well, let's not rush me up to 60 yet, but...
Yeah, it takes a couple of years to get there.
Yeah, give me a break.
He has a full term of college before he's 60.
Right, it's a lifetime.
I'm 30 years old now, so you're 50. You're 56.
5.
So what is it like in your 50s? That's what I want to know. Like, are you enjoying your life still?
Pete, I am enjoying my life from the sense that I'm very, very happily married. I enjoy my weekends and time off, and I'm enjoying work more than ever. So it's a great place to be. My kids are older, which is kind of nice. They're doing well. I'm happy to see that. I'm out of the woods in the sense that, you wonder when you have kids, gee, are they going to grow up to be good kids? Are they going to be normal? Are they going to give you a hard time?
What kind of adults are these going to be?
So I feel out of the woods. I think they're good kids. They're nice kids, and I love them. And the thing is, so that's a good place to be. I wouldn't want to go back into my 30s or 20s and start over professionally. I like where I'm at in terms of a radio performer. I know how to get behind a mic and do a show and all of that. So all that's good. Listen, I came to a conclusion a long time ago about radio specifically, that the person who doesn't grow or change is dull and remains dull and will never ever succeed. You constantly have to evolve and change. And I don't mean just from like whether or not you play the dating game on the air. I mean your whole lifestyle, your opinions, your view of the world has to evolve, or else it's a dead issue. You're done
at a certain point. You're acting if your life is changing, but your character isn't.
And I know I get criticized. Some people love the Billy West years. Some people love the Jackie years. Some people love the Artie years. Some people love this. They love when I did the Channel 9 shows. But I've always tried to just give you me honestly, and that's the same. And this is what it is. This is what it is. And when people get tired of it, if I sense that my audience is done with me, I will leave.
That will never happen.
Well, there you go, Pete. I like your optimism.
That's never going to happen. There's nothing else out there that's really going to captivate people like your show has.
You know why I'm good on the radio, too? I was thinking about me the other day. Most of my day, I think about me.
That's a surprise. You were thinking about you?
99% of the time, I think about me. And then the other 1% is the rest of you. So I was thinking about my radio career. I was reflecting on it. And it was hard not to, because everywhere in my office is a piece of memorabilia about my career.
You've gotten it to the point where you can't not think about it.
I fully embrace myself. I never used to, but now I do. Every award, everything is surrounding me.
It's like a museum.
It's a museum to me.
The Hall of Howard.
Hall of Howard. Radio Hall of Fame. Because believe me, what else is there? And so I was thinking about me, and the reason I'm good on the radio is A, it's a certain ability, certain talent. That's one thing you got to have. B, there's 4 things you got to have. B, what was A again?
A was that you got to have a certain talent.
You got to have a certain ability. B, you got to be...
What is that certain ability? You didn't have it when you first started.
Well, no, it's a certain sensibility about the world, a certain sense of humor, a certain understanding about how to tell a story.
It was in him, though.
It was in me. Yeah. I mean...
Okay, well, what you're saying then is...
your family and the way you're raised.
You had it... I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that many times I'd be sitting around my family and we had to tell a story.
Yeah.
And my father would say to me, "Stop. It's boring." Now, these were harsh words, but they
fixed you right.
They fixed me. They made me nuts. They made me neurotic. It was mean, but nevertheless, they go, edit yourself. Most parents today listen and indulge every word a kid says. And quite frankly, they're healthier, but they're big bores. You hear some of my callers; they can't even. They do a wind up for 15 minutes.
Yeah, they can't even get into the story.
They're bores because they've been overindulged and they've been told that everything they say is brilliant.
So what I'm just trying to decipher here is it still is something you learned. It wasn't an innate ability. You say your parents molded you.
Yes, that's true.
I agree.
not just your parents. It's just but there also is it's like a great musician. They have a musical ability. Yes, they had to sit in their room and learn the guitar, let's say, Eddie Van Halen. But there's a certain ear they have and a certain ability to understand music. There is a talent there.
Okay, so then it's two separate things.
That's right. It is a physical sort of gift you're born with. B, it's also the way you're raised. That gift could remain dormant. Like if Eddie Van Halen hadn't had certain surroundings, if he hadn't had certain influences in terms of music, it might never have emerged. He might not have felt comfortable enough to encourage that. So it's partly environmental. It's partly sort of what you're born with. A certain ability to speak.
Okay, so you had a certain awareness of the world and a sensitivity and a sensibility toward information and outside events.
For example, my father was in radio. He was an engineer, but I was exposed to this idea of the microphone, people speaking into it. He was also a recording engineer. He had a recording studio.
So that was instrumental.
That's part of it, yes. Instrumental is an okay word to use. That's fine.
You know, I mean, you would not have been on the radio without that, is what you're saying.
It's one of the components. That's right. Now, also...
The stars aligned, Howard. It might have been from God. You have to give God a little credit once in a while.
Well, yeah, that's what I call the thing that you're born with. This ability to look at the world and say, gee, Mad Magazine's got the right idea. There's satire there. You have to have a sense of humor and appreciation. Sense of humor has to be cultivated by your environment, but also you have to have that ability. It's sort of an ability somewhere inside of you.
Yeah, now there's another thing. Where does sense of humor come from?
Well, as Pete puts it, if you believe in God, or if you believe in the universe, nature, whatever it is, or the genetic sort of soup that we come from, it's just sort of something that's there. Like Beethoven had his musical thing, and it came out early.
That's how Artie made it to the point where he's at now.
Well, hold on. We'll get to Artie. Artie's a whole nother case. Artie defies.
I also think it has to do with the atmosphere. It's a combination of being born with it and the atmosphere you grow up in that develops.
That's correct. Now, the third component, which is essential in any success story. Now, I don't care what you apply this to. Pete, what do you want to be in life?
What do I want to be in life? I'm not even sure at this point.
All right. Okay.
Well, we were specifically talking about you. Said you were thinking about
But here is the other...
And these four things.
Here is the essential component. You talked about the essential component. Here's the third thing is the essential component. And that is... I want to see who's paying attention at this point.
He's making it up right now.
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you what it is.
All right.
It is having the ability to practice. Now, what do I mean by this?
Oh, you read this in a book a few
Outliers.
weeks ago.
I read some of Outliers, and I responded to it, but some of this is my own thoughts all along. Outliers says 10,000 hours are required to be an expert. Now, I've never added up the hours, but the hours of me watching television, listening to Brad Crandall on the radio, putting this together, seeing my father, and then actually having the time to develop this. WRNW, I was working a 6-hour shift, 6 days a week, and I got hours and hours of practice in college. I go down to the college radio station and start to practice. I started to practice all over the country what it is I wanted to do. Now, it's no different than when you talk to a guitar player who spent his entire childhood playing the guitar in his room over and over and over again. There are guys who have done that and never succeeded. They're okay guitar players. But the ones who have this, as I say, born talent, it comes out. But they have to put in the hours of practice.
Well, there are different levels of this born talent.
That's right.
Even the guy who doesn't play as well as Eddie Van Halen has a born musical talent.
That's right.
He's better than me at picking up a guitar.
Howard, you completed all the requirements that it took to get to where you're at.
Yes, but you didn't even
hear the
fourth requirement. You don't know what the fourth requirement is. I told you, thousands of hours
This guy
practice.
will never complete anything.
Well, he wants to be a professional pot smoker.
ADD.
His ADD. He wants to be a professional marijuana user.
He wants Adderall.
Right. He's on his way to his 10,000 hours of practice.
He's on his way to his 10,000
But Pete,
Adderall.
the fourth thing, and I think this is very, very important, is being born in the right time frame. Now, this is something from Outliers, and this is a key component. When you hear about Bill Gates, who is a huge success, Bill Gates, if you go through his history, actually was born at a time where he had available to him as a kid, because his parents were into some sort of computer science. They knew a guy who could, back then you couldn't even get into a computer lab or get on a computer. When he was born, somehow the circumstances led up to he was allowed free hours, endless free hours in a computer lab where he got to work this stuff out. Him and his friends were like into this thing like crazy. If they physically couldn't get the computer time as children, in other words, he had a certain privilege that you don't have, I don't have. He was in the right place. I had a certain privilege. I got to see my father work with these guys with the microphone. I got to visit the radio station, WHOM. I got to watch the guys work. I was mesmerized. I was mesmerized by this. I got to see something a lot of people didn't get to see. This Bill Gates, when they describe him, he got to do this in a lab. No one did. He got it was too expensive for people at that time to.
Right, computers were huge things. They didn't fit in people's homes.
Yeah, and I don't know the terminology of what it was he got for free, but it's a certain access to programming that you could only get programming time for an hour, and it was a fortune.
And you wouldn't waste this on a kid.
Right. He was allowed to go in there at night and use it all night and day. And that's what led to it. So it's part luck.
Well, let me ask you something.
Being born at the right time, and part having an ability.
What about these people who are born with nothing?
Well, people who are born with nothing, it appears that they're born with nothing, but it's not always the case. Now, let me give you an example. You sit and you look at professional hockey players. That's what they do in the book Outliers. And the guy points out, he says, everyone in Canada, for Canada is a huge hockey place. And they say, well, why did this guy become a pro? He didn't have anything more than anybody else. Maybe he had some talent, this and that. But it was the mere fact that they were born either January, February, or March. Now, you would never pick up on this, but here's what happens. In the school system, it's a full year. The kids who are born January, February, March are physically bigger. There's huge differences in physicality. You're almost a year older.
From January, February, March?
You're almost a year older than someone born in December. And what would happen in hockey, for example, kids would go to school and the coaches would look for some star players.
And they take the bigger kids.
The bigger kids, and also the kids who were older. They were a little more mature. They could understand a little better. They did better in school. They've even found that kids born January, February, March, because they're that almost a year older, they do better in school in the beginning. They get more attention from teachers. Therefore, they thrive a little more, get a little more encouragement, are noticed more, and they actually do better at certain things. But the hockey example is one where you are physically bigger. Now, they did find some hockey players who excelled who were born in, let's say, later months. But the majority, Canadian hockey players, because of the system and the public school system, January, February, March, I think it was something like 70%.
Yeah, but they at least had a hockey system. I'm talking about somebody who winds up
what I'm saying
being the president of South Africa, born in, what did Nelson Mandela have?
Well, what I'm saying is we don't know that because I don't know the history of Nelson Mandela, but there could be something as simple, Robin, as the day he was born. Because who would pick up on that with hockey?
Know if, the day he was born was very healthy.
I said not that, but there are circumstances that lead to somebody becoming great.
Or Dikembe Mutombo, whatever his name is, he was in Africa and they found him. What in the world?
He was 8'2", Robin. Right?
Yeah, but you still got to go find him. He didn't get here on his own.
Anyway,
it was like
that is why it is difficult to even pluck anyone out and say, here's a radio show. Or here's a TV show. It takes, like we were talking yesterday, they took David Lee Roth, a rock star, a guy who had spent his years practicing that and obviously excelled.
He's a good rock star.
That's right. And they said, go on the radio. Go do a radio show. Well, of course it was destined to fail. We all knew it. For some reason, the radio executives didn't know it.
Yeah, there were tons of people who didn't know it,
Right.
Howard, and they had power, and they put him there.
They did. But we all knew it. My audience knew it. You knew it. I knew it.
It would have been like you touring as lead singer of Van Halen.
Exactly. It's funny that David Lee Roth didn't know it. It's funny. I remember interviewing David Lee Roth. I invited him in to say, "Hey, David's going to take over our morning show," and I remember he walked in with kind of a swagger, and I remember why. I think he was on edge. I think he was thinking that I was going to put him down and and ridicule him for taking over our show, and I didn't. I was just the opposite. Every time he sort of got a little confrontational with me, I showered him with love, really. Right. I said, "Hey, David, I wish you the best." And I think it took him like into surprise. Yes, it took he was like, "Whoa."
He was defensive.
He was defensive that day. He really was. I remember it very well. And I don't think I'm projecting that. I think he really was.
Oh no, it was absolutely true.
Yeah, and and then when I was just saying to him, "Hey, I really wish you the best and hope you do well," but and then he kind of in his arrogance said to me, and this is David, in typical David, he says to me, "Man, I'm used to speaking in front of audiences as big as 300,000 people. You think this is something to me? This isn't a big deal to me. I've been doing this my whole life." And
no, that's not what he said exactly. What he said was, "This is the greatest opportunity for me because in a stadium, I could only speak to that many people. Right. Now I'm going to get to speak to all these millions of people." And you quietly pointed out that who said there's going to be millions for you?
Yeah, and I tried to say to him that day that you don't just automatically. Yes, millions of people show up to see Van Halen.
Yeah,
this is different. This is you. You're out there. You have a microphone. It's blank space. It's a canvas, and you've got to fill it with something entertaining that your audience will find compelling. And I knew this was a daunting task. I mean, this is not something easily done.
That people would show up for him talking.
Right. And they'd given him a couple of practice shows in Boston, and I guess someone had heard this stuff. And really, David was not prepared. The guy would have needed his, as they say in Outliers, 10,000 hours of practice, really. And who even knows if he has that talent anyway? He didn't. Who knows if he had one of the 4 requirements?
The show was okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Everyone has a story to tell. I could listen to someone on the radio and tell them what they need to do.
But can they do it? That's the other thing. It's a matter of can you actually do it?
When I hear someone on the radio, I go, "Oh, here's how you fix that." But then I go, well, if they're not going to hear that, how are they ever going to fix it?
And you would feel that way towards everybody. That's the thing. You would put your mind beliefs above everybody else's in the world.
What?
In radio, yes. In radio, I believe I'm as good as it gets. That's how I really do believe. And I'm not saying it from arrogance. I'm not saying it out of any sort of pompous notion. I don't feel about that way about anything in my life. I go to a psychiatrist 3 times a week and I go, I don't even know how to be. I don't even know how to be a human being.
You don't know how to be you.
I don't even know how to exist. It's pathetic in there. I mean, it really is. You would think that I was an entire mess. But nevertheless, when it comes to this, radio, I mean, I'm as competent and as I am the Beethoven of radio.
Well, I said it early on. I couldn't understand how other people couldn't see how much you knew. And when they were, when we first started, when we were at DC 101, and they would sit in the room and they'd start trying to tell you things, I was like, don't they realize he's the smartest person in this room?
Well, you know what?
Don't they know they should be listening to him?
It led to a lot of frustration. It really did on my part.
Oh, I'm sure.
I would go home and sit there and go, why do I would visualize the whole thing, and I'd say, why don't they get this? Why don't they let me loose? I don't get it. I mean, when Pig Virus and Dom Fioravanti and
they were the worst.
And
John Hayes. That was another one.
I mean, all of them. I sat there in a room and I said, this is like it would be as if Eddie Van Halen had to get guitar lessons from me. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Can you imagine people trying to tell Einstein what he should be doing?
Here's what you ought to do with that brain of yours.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that annoying to me. And I don't have this ability at anything else. It's this. I get this. I know what to do with this. Give me a fucking microphone. Give me a room full of my crew, and let the symphony begin.
And that's what Sirius Satellite Radio has been to you, Howard. It's the pinnacle of your career.
I'll tell you why.
You're respected, and you have the power there. You don't got to...
I know, I'm not respected. There's still people who don't believe I know what I'm talking about. Believe it or not.
Who?
I don't have to say names. They still think they know better than me. But I'm going to tell you something. One thing about here, I get more respect, and there's another thing I get. For the most part, I'm left alone. And this is the smartest thing you can do. Every time certain people poke their nose into this and start to mess around with my people, and I hate to be cryptic, but when they start to mess with my people, when they start to offer them jobs, when they start to tell them how to do their job, it is as I look at them as flies who have no conception of what is going on. And I look at them and I go, how dare you question what I don't even mind questioning. Questioning's good. But for God's sakes, what makes you think you know better than we do? Don't come in here and inflict your pain on us. Sure, listen, I'm not above criticism. I know there are things I do that are very boring on the radio. This might be boring on the radio. But for the most part, we're able to hit some home runs out of the park.
And stay around.
And stay around for the
There'll
party.
There'll be one today.
That's right. Right now, there might not be a home run, but there will be one later. I can almost guarantee it.
You can't hit one every time.
Right. Look, there are no slumps here.
That's right. We come in to do a show. And so, the reason I flourish here is, number one, they have an understanding to leave me alone. And by leave me alone, they're smart about it. They say, listen, we think you know what you're doing.
Here's a tough question. What sense does it make to not promote that you're going to come back to Sirius for no matter how long it is? So people can resubscribe, new people will join on, they're secure that you're going to be there. And we know you know this already.
I don't know what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, why wouldn't you tell everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be around here. The radio show is going to continue.
Because I don't know that that's true. And I'm not going to lie to my audience.
He's claiming you know this already.
No, I don't know. I had a conversation. I had 5 conversations this weekend with my agent.
Mm-hmm. 5?
About this, yeah. Because he claims I'm unavailable to talk to him. I go, it's just the opposite, Don. He's the one that's not in the office on Friday and Monday.
Oh, my God. You can't find him.
I said, listen, I call you as soon as you call me. So we made an appointment to talk, and we got into some really good conversation. And we had 5 conversations about this very topic. Mm-hmm. And, I do know what I want to do. I do know, Pete.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Sirius is going to go for it. You know what? If Sirius and I sat down in an easy way and sat down and said, here, let's continue on, it would never be that easy, because there are things that I would like to be able to do, mm-hmm. and there are things that I want to go and do, and I don't know that they're going to go for it. I have something in my mind where perhaps we could continue here.
They have to go for it.
They don't have to do anything.
They don't have to do anything. Listen.
You created them.
No. Look, I did not. It was here before granted, no. I think they would have gone. I think Sirius would have been out of business had we not gone.
Look, he created a lot of things in radio.
Right.
And they let him go.
Right. And we see what happens when they let me go.
Well, they let you go, but they still let you go.
But they do. Listen, I don't know, Pete, if it'll make sense to the company. And I am a loyal supporter of this company. I love this company. I think satellite radio must stay around. I think it's terrific. And I think it's only going to get better. But the fact of the matter is, and by the way, someone said to me, you know how you say amazing on the radio? Mm-hmm. I say the fact of the matter is way too much. I was criticized for that.
Oh, dear.
But the fact of the matter is that we could possibly be around some more here. But who knows? Pete, if I had the answer and I could tell you, I would give it to you.
Waiting for it.
I don't know that it's going to be so easy to bang out a deal.
Man.
I don't know.
I'll tell you why this show is successful. The fact of the matter is Robin's amazing.
Well, that's right. That's right. You want to know something? And I'm going to take credit for Robin. Full credit.
Full credit.
Because
you didn't give birth to me. Give somebody
everything
something.
but let me tell you something. My ability to recognize Robin's greatness is what we're talking about.
And your
here.
chemistry, absolutely.
That's right.
Well, I recognize the chemistry. Let me take credit for that.
Okay.
Yeah, Robin.
Actually, I take credit for recognizing his genius.
That's right.
Her heart might be broke.
What?
Just not being around Howard every day. That's going to break your heart.
That would
I
break
mean,
her
some
heart.
people may not realize I was not going to take the job they were offering me until they played a tape of him. And then I said, I'm taking the job just to meet him because he's
that's
incredible.
True. That's true.
And that's when you started wanting him sexually.
That was it.
How many years have you been pining away from me? Man. By the way, nobody's taking credit for Benji's contribution.
Oh, Jesus.
No, but that's just the point. Artie being a part of the show, Fred, Benji. These are people that I've chosen to work with, and they've chosen to work with me. And these are all good people, and that's part of it, too. You can't just have some schlubs.
Yeah, don't worry about them, Mo. That's not your responsibility.
I do. As a matter of fact. Or the fact of the matter is...
That's amazing.
That's right.
You've done enough for them.
I have several lucrative offers. I could be on The Real Housewives of Orange County as a fake husband.
There you go.
Fred has a lot of money saved.
Who knows what Fred's up to? No one knows with Fred. How you doing over there, Fred?
I'm doing fine.
Let's get off of this topic and move on to something. How are you?
I think
Is
it's
it
pretty
time to
good
check in with Fred?
that you talk about. I think people should be fascinated about what it takes to become a guy at the top.
That's right.
But not everybody has the ability, so why listen?
I don't know. Maybe
They'll
somebody,
just be
maybe someone
disappointed in
Maybe
themselves.
someone will be inspired because you're right. Not everybody can do what you do.
Practice.
But practice doesn't do it for everyone.
I told you that's only one component.
But I think you also have to love it. I mean, there's one thing that when you hear Howard speak about radio, you hear a passion in his voice.
I don't love it.
I think you do.
Look,
I think
Andre Agassi
Fred,
didn't
that
love
wasn't one of the
tennis. He was
components.
really
You're lying
good
to
at
me.
it.
No, I don't love it.
When you said you were 5 years old, you dreamed of being on the radio.
Yes, but I didn't love it. There was a lot of pressure in my life. I didn't love it. And that's part of it, too.
You must love it because in spite of that pressure, you
People
come
who are
here
great-
every day, you did what you did.
No.
Well, if he says he doesn't love it, why are you arguing with him?
Because I don't think he's aware of it. I don't think he's aware of his love for radio.
Do I love radio?
Hold on, let me find I think you're full
Do
of
I
shit.
what?
I think you love it.
For 25 years, I've sat over here, talked in the mic, played with these pots. What are you talking? I'm here every day. But do you love radio? Do I what? Do you love radio? For 30 years, I write the bits.
30 years.
Lay in bed and think of shit to say. Get up in the morning, eat my egg whites.
Yeah.
Talk to Benji and Fred. Do I love it? Do I love radio?
Not at 5:59 a.m., that's for sure.
I've been going to sleep at 8 o'clock. Watching TV and going to bed. Not fucking Beth, making sure I get to sleep. And you ask me, do I love it? What kind of question is this? But do you love it? Do I love radio? All right, thanks, Pete. Good to speak to you.